What's going on, everybody? Spunky 991 coming you guys with another video. Coming at you with my week one picks for the 2019 season. You guys know how I do this. I've been doing this for the past two seasons since I started making videos. You guys know how I go. I go over the entire schedule for all the teams playing this week, and this week being the first week of the season, everybody's playing, of course. But I go over their schedule. I tell you who I think is going to win those games, and of course, I say the Philadelphia Eagles. I say that game for the very end of the list. This is just a great time of the year, man. Very great time of the year. So football is almost here. We are less than 48 hours away from the kickoff. The official game start of the NFL season is on Thursday when the Green Bay Packers and Chicago Bears play each other. The NFL, instead of having the Super Bowl champions play, they decided with this being the 100th season of the NFL, we're in the 100th season. They decided to have the two oldest teams, the Green Bay Packers and Chicago Bears, also the oldest rivalry, of course. They decided to have those two teams kick off the season. So yeah, I'm very happy, man. The very long off season is behind us, man, and football is right there around the corner, man. So no matter who you root for, no matter who your team is, man, I know we all can agree on one thing. Football is back and we're all happy. So I'm very excited, man. But yeah, you guys, if you've been following me, for the past two seasons, you know I do this on a weekly basis, and I give you my prediction of the games of that week. So I say the Philadelphia Eagles for last, and I will continue to do that. So with that said, let me go ahead and get started on this. Starting off with the first game, which I talked about earlier, the kickoff game on Thursday, September the 5th at 8:20 p.m. Eastern. You have the Green Bay Packers. The Green Bay Packers traveling to Chicago to take on the Chicago Bears. The two oldest teams in the league, kicking off the season. Green Bay Packers traveling to Chicago. This game right here, NFC North rivalry game. Very fierce rivalry between these two teams. But when I look at the roster, I look at the talent. It's pretty clear who's the more talented team. That's the Chicago Bears. And so yeah, Clinton Dents is going against his former team, the Green Bay Packers. So yeah, it was pretty easy for me to predict this game here. Chicago is clearly the better team, so I got the Chicago Bears on the kickoff game beating the Green Bay Packers. So that's the kickoff game there. Moving on to the Sunday games here. September the 8th, starting off with the 1 o'clock games. You have the Tennessee Titans traveling to Cleveland to take on the Cleveland Browns. The Cleveland Browns have a whole lot of hype about them this year. They obviously had the addition of Odell Beckham. Baker Mayfield played very well, when he came in and played last year. The Tennessee Titans had a couple upset wins last year, beat my Eagles, beat the New England Patriots, but they end up not making the playoffs in the end. This game's being played at Cleveland, and I'm gonna go with the Cleveland Browns. Very rarely do I ever pick the Cleveland Browns to win. But this year obviously feels a little different. This is not like previous years. I think the Cleveland Browns are going to have a pretty good year. I actually do think they will be a playoff team. They currently have the longest playoff drought. They haven't made the playoffs since 2002, and I think this is going to be a playoff year for the Cleveland Browns. So yeah, I got the Cleveland Browns beating the Tennessee Titans in Cleveland. Moving on to the next game, you have the Baltimore Ravens traveling to Miami to take on the Miami Dolphins. The Baltimore Ravens moved on for Joe Flacco last year. They moved on with Lamar Jackson. Moved on with Lamar Jackson. They added Earl Thomas to their team. They also added Mark Ingram. The Miami Dolphins are in clear rebuild mode. They will be going with Ron Fitzpatrick as their starting quarterback over Rosen. This game is being played in Miami, but I got the Baltimore Ravens traveling down to Miami and beating the Miami Dolphins. Moving on to the next game, you got the Atlanta Falcons traveling to Minnesota to take on the Minnesota Vikings. This game right here was a pretty tough game for me to choose between right here. The Minnesota Vikings and the Atlanta Falcons, both of these teams missed the playoffs last year. My Eagles end up getting the 6th seed from the Minnesota Vikings, getting to the playoffs. Screwing over the Vikings for the 2nd straight year, by the way. So both of these teams missed the playoffs, and this was a pretty tough game for me to decide on. But ultimately, I think the Minnesota Vikings are the slightly better team. So I'm gonna give this game to the Minnesota Vikings. I had the Minnesota Vikings winning at home against the Atlanta Falcons. The next game here, you have the Buffalo Bills traveling to MetLife to take on the New York Jets. This is a AFC East rivalry game. New York Jets are another team that's had quite some hype about them this year. The addition of Le'Veon Bell, they got him during the offseason, and they made a variety of other moves as well, improving their roster. The Buffalo Bills also made a couple moves as well this offseason. They recently moved on from running back LaShawn McCoy. This game's being played in New Jersey, and I have the New York Jets defeating the Buffalo Bills at home at MetLife Stadium. Skipping past the Eagles and Redskins game, like I said, I saved that game for last. Moving on to the next game, you have the Los Angeles Rams. The Los Angeles Rams traveling to Carolina to take on the Carolina Panthers. The Los Angeles Rams completely crapped the bed in the Super Bowl last year. The Carolina Panthers missed the playoffs last year. I said it on a couple of videos during the offseason. I think the Rams are going to take a step back. And I could see the Carolina Panthers kind of playing spoiler for them, but then I remember that Cam Newton is probably not going to be playing for the Panthers. So I'm gonna go ahead and give this one to the Rams. If Cam Newton was playing there, I probably would give Carolina the game, but I'm gonna go ahead and give this game to the Rams. Moving on to the next game, you got the Kansas City Chiefs traveling to Jacksonville to take on the Jacksonville Jaguars. Of course, the Jacksonville Jaguars signed former Eagles quarterback Nick Foles this offseason. Kansas City Chiefs signed LaShawn McCoy a couple days ago. Kansas City Chiefs were on fire under their rookie quarterback Pat Mahomes last year. This game right here could be a pretty good game. I think it could be a duel. It could potentially be a shootout because neither one of their defenses is really scary to me. Obviously, Jacksonville they do have a pretty solid D line overall, but they took a step back last year. But with that said, man, I'm going to give this game to Kansas City Chiefs. I think the Chiefs are going to go to Jacksonville and beat the Jacksonville Jaguars. Moving on to the later on games on Sunday, the 4 o'clock games. You had the Indianapolis Colts going to Los Angeles to take on the Los Angeles Chargers. The Indianapolis Colts lost their franchise quarterback to retirement, Andrew Luck. Still very shocking retirement that has sent shockwaves throughout the league. The Los Angeles Chargers are one of the teams that is being hyped as a possible Super Bowl team this year. Made the playoffs last year. The Colts will have moved on with Jacoby Brissett, their quarterback, just giving him a contract extension. He is officially the guy in Indianapolis, and we'll see what Jacoby Brissett does. But I gotta go with the Chargers at home in Los Angeles. I got the Chargers beating the Indianapolis Colts. Moving on to the next game, you got the Cincinnati Bengals traveling to Seattle to take on the Seattle Seahawks. 4 o'clock p.m. Eastern. This game right here, not a hard decision. It's not a hard decision at all. The Bengals are in clear rebuild mode. The Seahawks are a playoff team from last year. They added on to Jadeveon Clowney at defensive end. Russell Wilson obviously getting a big payday this offseason. The Seattle Seahawks are still a playoff team. The Cincinnati Bengals, not so much. So I have the Seattle Seahawks beating the Cincinnati Bengals in Seattle, which is a very tough place to play at. Trust me, I've been to that stadium, Central League Field. Very tough place, very, very loud stadium. So I have the Seattle Seahawks at home beating the Cincinnati Bengals with no problem. Now, next game here, you have a NFC East battle between the New York Giants and the Dallas Cowboys. Dallas Cowboys obviously won the division last year. The New York Giants finished dead last in the division last year. They have some promise with Saquon Barkley, who played very, that kid was absolutely a stud last year, and I think he's going to have a great year this year as well. Um, they also drafted Daniel Jones during the first round, which was a surprising move by a lot of people at the number they drafted him at. But Daniel Jones looked pretty good in preseason. He looked very good in preseason. But of course, Eli Manning is going to be starting this game. And the Dallas Cowboys have just simply owned the New York Giants the past couple of years. There's still no word on Zeke Elliott. His contract. They say that he's getting close to it, but there still is no official word. This game is being played in Dallas. It's at 4:25 p.m. Eastern. I'm gonna go with the Dallas Cowboys. I'm gonna go with the Dallas Cowboys to beat the New York Giants. That game could go either way, but I'm going with the Dallas Cowboys to beat the Giants. Moving on to the next game, 4:25 p.m. Eastern. You got the Detroit Lions traveling to Arizona to take on the Arizona Cardinals. Arizona Cardinals made a few moves this offseason, but they are still in rebuild mode with their young quarterback Kyler Murray. Detroit is still somewhat of a rebuilded team. This game could go either way, but I think Detroit is slightly the better team, so I got Detroit beating the Arizona Cardinals. Moving on to the next game, you got the San Francisco 49ers traveling to Tampa Bay to take on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I picked the 49ers to be that sleeper team this year. Tampa Bay Buccaneers, we're going to see if Jameis Winston is going to, if this is a do or die year for Jameis Winston. We're going to see if Bruce Arians can turn things around for Jameis Winston's career. This game is being played in Tampa, but I got the 49ers going down to Tampa and beating the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. As for the Sunday night game, 8:20 p.m. Eastern, you got the Pittsburgh Steelers traveling to Foxborough to take on the New England Patriots. The Pittsburgh Steelers beat the Patriots last year during the regular season, but they've had some losses this year, some pretty big losses. They lost, of course, wide receiver Antonio Brown and running back Le'Veon Bell. The New England Patriots lost Rob Gronkowski to retirement this year. This game's being played in New England, and New England's a pretty tough place to win at. So I got the New England Patriots beating the Pittsburgh Steelers at home. Now, moving on to the Monday Night Football games. It's 2 football games because of the kickoff for the season. September 9th, starting off with the 8:10 p.m. game, you got the Houston Texans traveling to New Orleans to take on New Orleans Saints. Could be a good game. Drew Brees versus Deshaun Watson. Should be a pretty good game here. I got New Orleans. It's in New Orleans, so it's hard to pick against New Orleans in New Orleans. So I got New Orleans Saints beating the Texans at home. Moving on to the later game, the West Coast game here. You got the Denver Broncos traveling to Oakland, taking on the Oakland Raiders. This right here is an AFC West game, the rivalry game here, 11:20 p.m. Eastern. Of course, the Oakland Raiders added, with the addition of Antonio Brown there. This game is being played in Oakland. Tough game here to decide. Neither one of these teams made the playoffs last year. The Denver Broncos hired the former defensive coordinator from the Chicago Bears as their head coach. They have Joe Flacco at quarterback, of course. The quarterback of the Oakland Raiders is Derek Carr. Game is being played in Oakland, so I'm gonna go ahead and get this game to the Oakland Raiders. Now, moving on back to the game I saved for last. Our Philadelphia Eagles and the Washington Redskins. This game will be played on Sunday. It is at 1 p.m. Eastern. Tough game right here to decide, but what am I kidding? This ain't tough for me to decide. The Eagles are gonna beat the shit out of the Redskins. Not tough to decide at all. Yes, I had my Philadelphia Eagles beating the shit out of the Washington Redskins at home. Last time the Eagles played the Washington Redskins to kick off the season, we all know what happened that season. So yeah, NFC East rivalry game. My Philadelphia Eagles over the Washington Redskins. So let me go back over this again. I have the Chicago Bears over the Green Bay Packers, Cleveland Browns over the Tennessee Titans, the Baltimore Ravens over the Miami Dolphins, Minnesota Vikings over the Atlanta Falcons. I have the New York Jets over the Buffalo Bills. I have the Los Angeles Rams over the Carolina Panthers, Kansas City Chiefs over the Jacksonville Jaguars, the Indianapolis Colts over the LA Chargers, The Seattle Seahawks over the Cincinnati Bengals. Dallas Cowboys over the New York Giants. Detroit Lions over the Arizona Cardinals. San Francisco 49ers over the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. The New England Patriots over the Pittsburgh Steelers. The New Orleans Saints over the Houston Texans. The Oakland Raiders over the Denver Broncos. And my Philadelphia Eagles over the Washington Redskins. So there you have it. My week 1 picks. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section. Let me know if you agree with what I said here. If you don't, let me know what you think. Leave your prediction in the comment section. I definitely do read those comments. But yeah, let me know what you guys think, man. As always, go Birds. Spunky Nights 91 is out of here. Enjoy your football on Sunday. I will do a Eagles and Redskins preview video. I have that out for you guys very soon, very, very shortly. But let me know what you guys think in the comment section. As always, go Birds. Fly, Eagle, fly. Spunky Nights 91 is out of here. Peace.